Welcome. Thank you for stopping by Jumping Jak Tutorials. My name is Jack and we're going to talk about how to do a gymnastic style backward roll. When I say gymnastic style, I mean a backward roll that goes straight backward over the top of your head. This is a great skill to learn as it can be fun on its own. It can help you into a backward safety fall. You can put it onto a bar skill. You can add it into other additional skills like backward roll to handstand, even do it on a trampoline or put it in the air for a back tuck. All right, let's get started. Alright, so whether you're learning a forward roll, backward roll, or sideways roll, practicing that roll on an incline can help make it easier as it can provide more momentum and gravity will help assist you. As we see for this little ball here, if you put it on the floor, it does not roll, of course. If you practice on a hill, you have that assistance of gravity. So this can help you practice if you are just learning. Alright, so for the backward roll, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our center of mass or our body weight to go over our head, but we're doing that in a backward direction. As you're going backward over your head, you want to use your hands as support so that you're not squishing your head. I will say that having good warmed up body is very important. Even doing some neck stretches, going back into this position. Because if you're first learning and you don't know how to use your hands enough, you're going to end up accidentally squishing your head, right? So those hands are really important. It's going to help us not put too much weight on our neck, and it's going to help keep us safe. So again, going back to that center of gravity, trying to bring our hips over our head. When you do your backward roll, here's a slow one. Your bottom here is going to start to go over your head. Your toes provide extra weight to go over. And as your body is starting to go over in this position, you're going to push nice and hard and push yourself over to your feet. Now adding a little bit more speed into it really helps, so if you know what you're doing, go back into it a little bit faster. So if I'm here, I'm going to go backward. Instead of going into this open position, I'm going to go back and bring my knees with me, go a little bit faster, and that's going to help provide an easier backward roll. Doing it on a hill, again, helps provide that speed and that momentum, so one done on a hill here, up and over. So when you're getting your body weight over your head, you're pushing nicely with your hands. You want to keep your knees tucked in, even all the way to the finish. If they're too open, you're going to end up crashing on your knees. So knees tucked in towards your chest is going to be helpful in the beginning. I keep my knees separated a little bit. This provides a little bit of space for my face if I want to get that nice tucked in position. We'll see that backward roll from two other angles. So I'll start here, go over, and then push. And push. So straight over the top. So to sum it up, for that backward roll, you want to add a little speed. You want to stay tucked into a nice ball. As you're going back to your shoulders, you want those hands going down right away. You don't want to hit your head on the floor. You want your body to go over your head, and you want to use your hands to push so that you're not squishing your neck or hitting your head on the floor. Your head may lightly touch the floor. That is okay as long as it's not hurting. All right, one last backward roll. Good luck and be safe as you practice. For this next section, we're going to talk about different workouts and different things that are going to help you get ready for that backward roll if you're having trouble or if you just don't feel ready yet. So one thing that's really good to practice is staying in that tuck position, being able to rock back, put your hands on the floor, and sit back up. Rock, push your hands down, and sit. You want your hands to go down nice and flat on the floor. Elbows are pointed up towards the ceiling. All right. Another one to get good at is basic push-ups. As you're doing that backward roll, you're going to have to push your body up off of your head. So being able to do a push-up is a great one. And then being able to practice that finishing position or mimicking that finish of the backward roll by tucking your head in and pushing yourself back. Tucking your head in and pushing yourself back. And that can really work those muscles to help you come out of that backward roll. Other things that are going to help a bit, it would be neck flexibility. So making sure that you can tuck your chin in all the way to your chest, doing some neck stretches. Of course, whenever you practice a skill or do any workouts, you want to be well warmed up first. This last part of the video is the problem solving or troubleshooting portion of the video. If you've been practicing and been having trouble on a backward roll, I'll show you some common mistakes and some ways that you can fix them or overcome them. All right, the number one common mistake that I see in a backward roll is just not enough speed or not enough momentum. If that's happening, here are some of the results. If you're doing a backward roll and you get to your head and you just fall to the side, if you're doing a backward roll and getting this far, A lot of times that's because you are not giving it enough power or enough speed. When you go back, give it a little bit of speed. You can reach your toes over your head a little farther to create more body weight to help tip you over. So an example of that speed or that toe reach would be here, and then back to your feet. So if you're tipping sideways, if you're not making it over your head, adding more speed and power can help. Also, if you're tipping sideways, another common issue for that is you're not using both hands evenly. So when you go backward, you want your hands to go on the floor this way. Perhaps if one hand's not pushing or not being used properly, that's going to create that unevenness as well. If you're doing backward rolls and it hurts your neck, that could be due to neck flexibility. You might want to practice more stretches and get more ready before you do the backward roll. But a lot of times it happens because you're not pushing enough with your hands. So when you go backward, you got to have those hands ready, right over your shoulders like this. Your hands go down as soon as your shoulders go back. And that strong enough push is going to keep you from squishing your head. So here I'll emphasize the push a little bit. Right? You want to have that nice strong push off of your arms. Other common issues that might happen in a backward roll would be going backward and then turning your head sideways. If you look to the side, a lot of times that'll end up making you do a backward shoulder roll instead. So keeping that head centered and keeping your hands centered can help you go into a good backward roll. If you go backward for that roll and then you open and try to do that roll as two separate parts, that's not going to create a lot of power and momentum, and that could cause you to have trouble going over your head as well. Last thing I'll talk about is if you're doing a backward roll and you're going over and crashing on your knees, there's two main reasons for that. Number one, you see my foot position here, so I have pointed feet. If you do that, then a lot of times you'll end up crashing and landing on your knees. You want to bring those toes in, you want to have flexed feet, so you're landing more on the ball of your foot. The other thing is how close your knees are to your tummy or your chest. If you have a big space like this open, your knees will crash. If you bring those knees up or keep them tucked, you see how they lifted up off the floor? There's less space here, and that keeps my knees off the floor just by changing this body shape. So I'll show you one more incorrect version with the knees far away. Really open here. I'll show you another one with knees tucked in. And keeping those knees close to your chest can keep them off the floor and keep you landing on your feet. If you have any other issues with your backward rolls, any questions, any suggestions, I would love to hear them. Drop them down in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.